Hey there! So today we're gonna talk about DSLR, crop sensor or full frame and mirrorless cameras. So that's exactly how I felt when at first I had DSLR camera, which was crop sensor, and when the full frame came more affordable to the market, then I was like, no way! Why I don't have this one? And I changed my camera for full frame. But first of all, let's talk about what is DSLR. It might sound super obvious, but in general, we feel that it's important to touch this topic here as well, because quite often we get questions: should I go for full frame? Should I go for DSLR? Should I go for crop sensor DSLR? Should I go for mirrorless? So we're just gonna explain you here a little bit for you guys, and then later on you can think about it, what's used for you, because again, every person is different. So DSLR in general is digital single lens reflect camera, notably for allowing interchangeable lenses on the same camera body, and a reflection of that light from a mirror inside the camera body. So as you can see, we have different parts here, especially single lens. You can change the lenses, and mirror is inside. And if we go further, then DSLR have two types usually. It's crop sensor and full frame. So the term full frame or crop sensor refers to the sensor size, and full frame sensors have the same dimension as 35 millimeter film and 24 times 36. And crop sensor refers to any sensor smaller than 35 millimeter. This is a little bit maybe too technical for you, but what you have to understand here is that with crop sensor, you get this size of photo, but with full frame, it's obviously way bigger. It's way bigger, and even if you have the similar lens. So full frame advantages is obviously the thing that it's higher quality, broader dynamic range, better low light, high ISO performance. So depending on what's your goal in general, I obviously shoot clients' work with the full frame camera because of the higher quality. And then full frame also has shallower depth of field, greater variety of lenses, and wider angle views. And this one is also good to know if you think if you should go for full frame or crop sensor. But again, I started with crop sensor, and once I get better, then I upgraded for full frame. And with crop sensor, obviously there's a difference because it's the cost is way lower and the weight as well. And here's a perfect example, with crop sensor, you can shoot this kind of range, but with full frame, obviously everything is bigger. So for example, when I switched from crop sensor to full frame, then what happened was that it was so different and weird in the same time. But at some point you get used to this one and you just enjoy the full frame benefits in general. And then another dilemma usually people have is should they go for DSLR or mirrorless? And nowadays, obviously, mirrorless are making a huge impact in general, and all the camera gear companies are going wild with developing even better mirrorless cameras. So you should definitely keep an eye on the mirrorless as well, because it's magical what mirrorless cameras right now can do, and especially when you're on travel or portrait photography. So the term mirrorless comes from the fact that this whole complex system of mirrors found in the DSLR is completely removed from the camera. And as you saw before, DSLR obviously have the mirror, but mirrorless don't have any mirror, as the name itself says. And then there are always those different approaches here for mirrorless camera versus mirror DSLR cameras, I mean, and some say mirrorless cameras are the future, and then the other part is usually saying the quality of mirrorless cameras is never the same, and it feels like a big dilemma here in general. But what I would say is that if we compare these ones, and then mirrorless cameras were created to achieve smaller and lighter cameras while still offering high quality. And this one they have definitely achieved. And this is they are smaller, lighter, and the quality is also super nice. And especially the new models that are coming out are like, yeah, really mind blowing in general. And obviously, we're not going to go into too many details here because this deep debate between mirrorless versus DSLR are endless. And I personally like to compare these two with electric car or gas car. It's like the same thing. Like people are saying, no, electric car is better. The other ones are, no, gas is better. So the same dilemma you can have with mirrorless versus DSLR, and you can continue with this one. But definitely, if you're thinking to buy a new camera, then you can read more about this one on internet and ask us the questions as well in the community. So definitely stay tuned for this one. Thank you for watching. I hope this was useful, and now you know which camera to choose, or at least you can think about it a little bit, and we will see you in the next one. Bye!